From a man that was ordered to stab his friend 42 times after watching Queen of the Damned, to teenagers inspired to kill their best friend after watching Scream, we take a look at 10 shocking crimes that were inspired by horror films. Number 10. Natural-born killers copycats. Partially due to the copycat crimes linked with this movie since it was first released, Natural-Born Killers has been one of the more controversial movies of its time. One notable case involves lovers Benjamin James Darris and Sarah Edmondson, then teenagers. They traveled across multiple states gunning down victims. Afterwards, it was discovered that they had watched Natural-Born Killers on repeat and taken LSD before going on their killing spree. Number 9. The Deer Hunter Suicides. There are several movies on this list which feature Robert De Niro. The first of which is The Deer Hunter, released in the late 70s. According to the book Suicidal Movies, Social Patterns 1900 to 2009, The Deer Hunter inspired acts of suicide even 25 years after it was released. The Russian roulette scenes depicted in The Deer Hunter apparently inspired 46 cases of suicide over a 7-year period, according to the book. Number 8. John F. Hinckley Jr., taxi driver. Psychologically disturbed taxi operator Travis Bickle, played by Robert De Niro in the movie Taxi Driver, is a character that apparently spoke directly to a man named John F. Hinckley Jr. Hinckley was inspired to attempt an assassination of a sitting United States president, namely Ronald Reagan, after watching the character Travis Bickle do something similar in the movie. Actress Jodie Foster played a prostitute in the film, and Hinckley was apparently trying to impress her. Generally speaking, murder is likely not the best way to express your love for a movie star. Number 7. Serial killer Martin Bryant, Child's Play 2. Psychotic doll becomes possessed by the soul of a serial killer, then commits horrifying acts of murder? Yes, that's the Child's Play series in a nutshell. It was the second movie in the series, Child's Play 2, that Martin Bryant declared his favorite before he committed the Port Arthur Massacre, where the mass murderer took the lives of 35 innocent people. Bryant made no mystery that Chucky, the main villain of the story, was at least in part the inspiration for his actions. Number 6. Scream Attackers. Friends Daniel Gill and Robert Fuller, 14 and 15 years old respectively, decided to stay home on a January night in 1999 and watch the movie Scream. They then decided to attack their 13-year-old friend Ashley Murray and stabbed him 18 times before leaving him for dead. 2 full days passed before Murray had a stroke of luck. A man who was walking his dog happened to find Murray, and he was able to physically recover in time to testify against his assailants. Number 5. Vampire Daniel Sterling. Some horror movies are creepy, some are gory, and some are just a little strange. Crimes inspired by these movies can be absolutely disturbing. This is the case with Daniel Sterling and his girlfriend Lisa Stellwagen. The two watched the movie Interview with a Vampire in 1994. Later that night, according to the New York Times, Stellwagen woke up and noticed her boyfriend staring at her. Sterling didn't try to hide what he was doing. In fact, Stellwagen heard him say, "I'm going to kill you and drink your blood," which is exactly what he tried to do. Fortunately for Stellwagen, she was somehow able to survive the multiple stab wounds. Number 4. John Ricketts mimics A Clockwork Orange. A strange and unique film based on a novel, A Clockwork Orange is said to have been the trigger for several copycat crimes. In this case, John Ricketts decided to dress up as a droog, which is a character from the film. He then attended a holiday party where he proceeded to approach and assault a woman who is said to be dressed as Little Britain character Vicky Pollard. Number 3. Allan Menzies kills Queen of the Damned. At the age of 23, Allan Menzies was allegedly told he had to murder his best friend. The strange thing is, he believed he was told by a character from the movie he was watching, Queen of the Damned. Even stranger, Menzies followed these orders, brutally attacking and stabbing his 21-year-old friend Thomas McKendrick 42 times. He then drank the blood of his victim in an attempt to become a vampire. He ultimately received life in prison for his crime, and was later found dead inside of his prison cell. He had reportedly watched Queen of the Damned up to 100 times. Number 2. Daniel Gonzalez, Nightmare. Who wasn't afraid to go to sleep after the first time they saw a Nightmare on Elm Street movie? The creepy sound effects and music from Friday the 13th still give some people shivers. But some people have a more extreme reaction. This was the case with Daniel Gonzalez. This schizophrenic murderer killed 4 people and was deeply impacted by movies like Friday the 13th and A Nightmare on Elm Street. It turns out that had Gonzalez received proper treatment for his medical condition, those killings may have been prevented. Gonzalez ultimately received multiple life sentences for the murders, but committed suicide in 2007. Number 1. The first Scream murder. 2 cousins, Mario Padilla and Samuel Ramirez, 16 and 14 years old respectively, stabbed Padilla's mother multiple times and left her for dead. It is widely accepted that they were inspired by the original Scream movie. Apparently, it was discovered that this stabbing was one of several copycat crimes the teenagers planned to commit. They were found guilty, and fortunately, subsequent crimes were prevented.